is on the line. But this is why I said that we need to, I wish it was a way that we could hold some type of togetherness and talk, and tell our story because I'm trying to formulate a talk show myself, and I'm really looking forward. If I can't bring everybody, and who knows that God can work a miracle to have you guys, we come together, and it's so good for women, especially women that have been going through so much, and we're overcomers, our testimony. And you're really inspiring me tonight, and this is my world. This is where I belong, under Ilka Mary's, ministry, and that's I every day. I don't watch TV that much, never did, but I'm lost into this, and I finally found my place, my answers, and I love you guys. I've never seen you. I'm on Facebook. You can befriend me, Jamina James Span. You can look me up. Just let me know in the inbox who you are, and you gotta have a picture, and we can go there. We can go there together because together we stand, and divided we fall. And I thank God for Bishop because I would have never known. I would have never known you guys, and to know you guys are all over the world. I have sisters that I could reach out to.
The one thing you were talking about, I can really relate to. Depression can, well, especially nowadays. I mean, there's so much happening, but I can honestly say that it's a miracle to live every day and learn how the Lord, to learn to identify certain things.
What are the things that causes depression? Let's go there. Everybody, you need to contribute. If you have gone through depression, talk to us tonight. What are the things that has made you to go through depression? Has the doctor said that you are going through depression? Or do you feel that you are going through depression? How do we cure depression? So let's begin with your story. What is it in your life that has led to depression? Okay, how many people want to speak on this? Just tell me your city. I will know who you are. Tell me your city or your state. Then I will know who. Huh?
Chicago.
Chicago, okay. Another person?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, another person that want to tell their story? Please, we were just talking now. I was listening to all of you. Who and who want to talk tonight so that I know who begin first and who will not, who will go next.
I'll go ahead and begin.
Okay, let's go first with Chicago.
Okay.
Well, for me, it was the past relationships. It wasn't just relationships that was intimate relationships, meaning women. It was also family relationships. They previously had issues of their own, and it was emotional and verbal abuse to them. Always being said that you would never be nothing, you would never amount to nothing. So eventually, in time, that was something that was adapted into life. So then having life as a young person, a young adult, growing older, experiencing relationships where the relationships wasn't good, and it was
still go through things from time to time. But usually what I do is I just pray. I be praying a lot and listen to the word a lot. That's all I've been doing a lot of. And I put you had said previously to us, if we wanted to have a better relationship or marriages, we need to get books and read. So I got the power of thoughts by Joyce Meyer, and I'm going through it, writing down scriptures and writing down my prayers for my mind. And then I watch the.
Have you listened to the 70 plus keys for a happy marriage? That is more important. That is far more important than you reading Joyce Meyer's book. Have you watched the 70 plus keys? Because you can read all the book that you want to read. But if the real thing that you need to know about dealing with the issues that led to your saying yes to family members coming into your life, if you have no taproot system, no foundation to be able to sit down and discern, you see, that is why when we went to Baltimore, there was one statement that was made, and that statement was this: the wisdom of God, which also operates in the natural, not just in the supernatural. Real wisdom operates in every sphere of life: spirit, mind, and body. How did we define wisdom at Baltimore, Maryland in April? Can somebody tell me? What did we say wisdom was? From Idikai Mary and the Holy Ghost, what did we say wisdom was? Anybody who was at Baltimore? Because you start quoting to me, wisdom is the principal thing. So what? What's wisdom? Those of you who are at Baltimore. Wisdom is the ability of the gift of the Holy Spirit in your life. The ability to make right choices. You want to read books, and I'm telling you simple things. Ability to make right choices and right judgment in all places, at all times. That's what wisdom is. Is that what you find in Joyce Meyer's books?
No, I'm just picking that
okay.
To deal with the mom.
Okay, so listen carefully. Listen carefully. Not against you reading anybody's book. That's none of my business. What you need in order not to go through what you've gone through, to go through depression, is the anointing of the Holy Spirit operating as wisdom. It's not everything that presents itself by our family members that we should say yes. Many of us want to die for our family. I was not born to die for my family. Many of us want to be gods and goddesses to our families. That's why you are where you are. That's why there is no money in your pocket. There's no man in your life or no woman in your life. Relationship is all whacked. Others do not know when to move away when relationship has ended. They stay there and keep complaining. Go and look at the life of Jesus. Where people didn't like him, he moved away from them. And why don't we learn these simple things instead of making it harder for ourselves? Every year I encounter people who are so heavily depressed coming to me. There are some years I don't want depressed people coming to me. I want to have normal people who come to learn, not people who are needy. But people whom, when once I pray for them, boom, miracle happen. Not people I'm praying for them, they're already doubting, they're already afraid, they're already having panic attack, anxiety, worries. With those kind of people, I can't do much for them. That's what you read in the Bible. Jesus went back to where he was born. The people say, oh, we know who you are already. We know your father, we know your mother, we know your brothers, we know your sisters. And he could do no mighty work there. He moved to somewhere else. The biggest thing, Chicago, that you need to receive from God is this word. So if you are willing to listen, because what I've been told about my partners is, it's not that they are not reading books. It's not that they are not praying. The problem with many people who are looking for deliverance and for breakthrough is that they are very rebellious and stubborn. The greatest spirit that is against a lot of my partners and a lot of churchgoers today is the spirit of rebellion and the spirit of stubbornness. I told you guys since last year, big miracles happen when people are willing to receive instruction so as to follow direction. I've been saying it for over a year. And recently, one of the pastors went to heaven. And what did God tell him? Was what he has been telling me for over a year. God told him to go and tell the world that if they want big miracles, they should be willing to accept instruction and follow direction. And I've been telling all of you that. Simply because my name is not socially big. That's why many of you take me and what I'm doing lightly. You take it lightly. But when that guy came back from heaven and said it was like a new thing to everybody. I have been talking to you guys about going to heaven, and God told me that he wants a woman to be there. If women play their part well, present themselves well, he will be happy to see a woman be the next president. I've been saying it for over 3-4 years until somebody, a young man who is following Benny Hinn, came up recently and said God told him that that's what everybody want to listen. But I've been saying it to all of you. So now I'm going to find a way to whatever God tells me to broadcast it to the entire world and make it big for people to buy it so that people can honor it. Because that's one thing I've discovered. You tell people simple things, they don't want to listen. Somebody else come and put money on it, that's what they want to listen to. It's not everything people in your life come to. Family members, they come to you, they need money, they need this. You give it to them because you want to be accepted by them. Many of us go through depression because we want to be accepted. We are afraid. We cannot risk nothing. We don't want to move on. I am who I am today because God told me to dump the butt of everyone I've known. In my life, I should just let them go. Including my mother, my father, my brothers and sisters. I should let everybody go for the first 5 years. Then this will be established. I let every friend go. I told my mother, when I need you, I'll let you know. Just go. All my brothers, go. All my siblings, go. I don't need you now. Everybody, back off. Immediately I did that, God came. The first Sunday. In fact, when I was leaving, when I was processing my paper to come to America, he told me, even those people who were really close to me, don't tell them you are going out of the country. My mother who gave birth to me, none of my siblings, my senior brother, my senior pastors, except those who were at the meeting, who thought that I was joking. They said, oh, he's just joking. Until they saw me show them a paper. That was when. At the meeting, only at the high meeting of the church, national church. They were having a meeting when somebody told them, this guy is not joking, he's leaving the country. That's when they began to take me serious. And even after that meeting, They thought that when I go there, they will deny me. So I never told any of them what was happening. I kept it a top secret until I was here for one full day, 2 days, 3 days. Then I called 1 or 2 people and tell them I arrived safely. Thank you. And that was it. See, in those days, I was eager to be the champion of my family. Make them become somebody, make them be this. You're joking. But each of my siblings, I know who they are, what they are capable of doing. I know who my mother is, what she's capable of doing. I know who my fellow pastors are and what they are capable of doing. And Jesus said, the Bible said that in the Gospel of John, Jesus did not need anybody to tell him about a human being. He did not trust none of these people. He had all these disciples, 120, 72, out of 72, 12, out of 12, 3, out of those 3, none. Instead, Mary Magdalene was the one that showed affection to him. He wasn't married to Mary Magdalene, had no affair with her, had no children. You need to be aware of that. But that was the one that was kind to him mostly. They said, if you don't want to go through depression, you must learn when to let people go. Yesterday, we talked about cycles and seasons. It's there in the internet. Many of you are seeing all these videos I'm making. You are taking it very lightly. It doesn't really mean much to you. Doesn't really mean much to you. Until you see TD just coming to talk about the same thing I'm talking, then you listen. Or you see Benny Hinn coming to talk about the same thing I've been talking about in depth. That's when you want to listen. Until you're willing to let people go, depression will never let you go. Because many of us think it's about prayer and reading books. It's about surrender. It's about instruction. It's about receiving instruction. And that's what I'm going to read to you tonight. It's about a covenant with God that will establish you. If we can deal with that, we'll deal with that later. Some days to come. Because we are looking for God to establish us. If you've been into a relationship once, you should have learned how men behave. You should have learned what you are looking for in life. You should sit down and make your own constitution. This is what I want in life. I don't want anything less than this. This is the kind of man I'm looking for. If I don't see this kind of man, I'm not entering into any relationship with any man. I'm not desperate. I'm not lonely. Same thing with a man with women. Can you handle a job? Can you ignore gossip? Can you ignore what seems like people are treating you wrongly? Can you stay on a job because you want to do that job and earn a paycheck and put money aside for yourself to buy a car, buy a house, establish good credit? Can you do that? Do you have what it takes, the power that it takes to steady? That's what we are talking about. When you have gone through one relationship, you should have learned a lot. You should have opened your eyes and learned a lot. When you've gone through two, that should be enough that you've learned everything you need to learn. And then make up your mind what you want. And if somebody else come into your life and they don't possess that, let them go. Tell them, I don't need you. I'm sorry. You don't have what I want. I am a college, I'm an institution. I have something that somebody must have to qualify to be in my life. This is my life. I'm responsible for it. I'm going to be judged for it. Not the man, not the woman. God is not going to judge your husband on your behalf. Your husband did you this, or your wife did you this, or your children did. No. You are going to be judged for your life. The life that has been given to you, you are going to be responsible for it. Not your sons, not your daughters. Oh, my son was doing me this. Oh, my daughter was doing me this. Oh, my husband was doing me this. My ex was doing me this. You think God is interested in those things? Are you serious that you think God is interested in what your husband is doing to you, or what your wife is doing to you, or what your children? God is not interested in it. God is interested in you, how you are going to react to those things. Do you want to tolerate those things? Then stay there and shut up. Or do you want to get out? Then get up and stand over. It's always about what people did to you. What about your own decision of what you want to do? I would have still been in Nigeria teaching in college today and pastoring churches. But I was willing. I said, God, give me a vision, give me a dream of what is bigger than me that I can fit into. And he did. I'm not receiving a salary from anybody. My denomination is not paying me. Since the year 2000, I have not received a dime from anybody in the name of a salary. And do you think I have time to wait to be telling about what they did to me? Or what somebody did not do to me? I'm not interested. Why? Because I have seen the video of my future. And that's what I'm pursuing. And anybody who come into my life who does not fit into that program will go out quickly. Along the way, you just know that you don't fit in. Because I don't want anybody to make me to be depressed or anything. If I need money and I ask God to give me money, he doesn't give to me, I wait for 7 days, we go into a quarrel. The 7 days he knows I'm coming for a quarrel. I'm not coming to pray. I'm coming there to quarrel with heaven. And within 1 hour, that money will be there. And they know that they do not need to drive me to the place of craziness. If I'm asking for something for you, Jamina, and I ask, it's not given to me, I'll ask God why. He will give me instruction like he has an instruction for me to give to you. And I'm waiting for the time to give it to you. Same thing, Angel. I asked him, should I say, no, not now, they're not ready. Many of you, I have things to tell you from heaven. And he said, wait, I will tell you when to. So that you don't anger them. Because you must be ready to receive instruction. Because show me one place where a major miracle happened, where instruction was not at the back of it. Jesus said to the man, rise up, take your bed, go. And he did. Boom. Go, wash. He did. Everything is always instruction. It's not always somebody pray for you and you receive a miracle and then you go. And it's not important to you. It's always an instruction. Moses, when you reach the water, hit it with your rod, with your shepherd rod. He hit it, boom. Moses did not go to the Red Sea and started praying and called the entire Israel and said, lift up your hand, fast and pray. Begin to pray in tongues for the water to blast into two. No. He only gave them instruction and said, listen, the Egyptian you see today, you will see them no more. They all bow at him. What are you talking about, Moses, bearded Moses, runaway Moses, refugee Moses? You are coming back to tell us that we don't have no instrument of warfare. We don't even have bow and arrow to fight. No swords. And you are telling us that those people with horses, they were laughing at him. The reason why Moses could talk with authority was because he knew what God was going to do. When you have an inside information, that is what we call faith. Faith is not you coming to say, God, I need a car. No. God, I need a house. No. Faith is you going to the place of prayer and pray until you see a vision of a car or a house. That's how you know that you got it. If not, you can pray all you want to pray. You will never get it until you see it. Faith is, in fact, let me tell you what it is. Seeing is believing. And the kind of seeing is seeing into the supernatural. Depression could be dealt with very easily if you are willing to let go of a careless lifestyle and become detailed. Before you allow anybody into your life, you've studied them like a book. And you are willing to tell the person, no, bye. Yes, but these are the conditions that must be met. Because this is my life, and nobody is going to wreck this ship for me. And then you become a giant.
Yes, Lord.
You must have something that fetches you money. You must do something with your hand or with your mind that fetches you money. If you cannot do it, I don't know how you're going to be rich except through inheritance. Or maybe God perform a miracle. But even before you perform, he will have to coach you and teach you how to handle money, because you are not used to handling big money. And when you see big money, it could even kill you, because you are not used to it. You go back to your former life and start drugging and partying, and the next day you're dead and the money is still there. One man won a lottery. The very day he won a lottery, the police came knock on his door. They did not tell him he won a lottery. They told him that he has committed a crime and they are taking him to jail. He asked for what his crime was. They told him, when you go to court, you'll be told what your crime is. And they went and locked his butt up for 24 hours. It was while he was in jail, he discovered that, why is it that he's not in the side of the jail where the other people are? He was kept in a special place. They were bringing him great food to eat. All that. What kind of jail is it? What have I done? They told him, you will know in 24 hours. And they sent him a banker and a lawyer to sit down to tell him, you've won the lottery. We know that you do drugs. We know that you drink. We know that you will have sex with every woman in this town. That's why we put you in jail. Because you will die and leave your children. There in few days, we know you'll die. So this is what we want to do with that money. You have a brother who is so and so. We have invited him and he's here. And he's going to be in charge of that money. And the state is going to monitor how that money is run. We are going to buy you a house cash. And this is how much that will be given to you every month. We are not giving you that money because you kill yourself. And that was right. He will have killed himself. So and so money is going for your children's education. Any of them that want to go even to PhD, this is the amount that has been put aside. This amount is for life insurance. This is the amount that they had everything made out for him. I thought that's the way the state should run things. Because that man's friend won a lottery many years back. And overnight, he died overnight. Drugging and drinking for winning a lottery. And many of us are not disciplined. Every depression has its root with relationship, with how we approach life. The people we surrender to, the people we want to work with, that's the foundation of depression. The foundation of depression is based on, do you want to be somebody or nobody? And all I need to do is send you to come and work in my office with other people, and you will see your stupidity, idiocy, everything will rise up. Many people I know cannot work with others. Send them to work with other people. They become, you just see their behavior. Behavior problem is at the root of it. I called somebody today and dictated something to the person. And that thing said, if you take somebody who practices a ghetto mentality and a ghetto lifestyle, you take that person and put that person in a mansion, he will turn that mansion into a ghetto. Now, there are depression that comes as a result of people that you love died. Or your job that you rely on came to an end. That is understandable. Now, if you are able, you should know that human lives are temporary. A job is temporary too. It will come to an end any day. Then somebody should have prepared you for a lifestyle of attachment to something and at the same time detach from it. If you have a job or a business, you should be 40% attached and 60% detached. Every human being you have in your life, you should be 40% attached, 60% detached. In case anything happens, it doesn't pain you too much. You keep going with your life. Look at how Jesus treated death. Lazarus died. He didn't rush to go there. He did not rush to go there. The son and the daughter of the ruler of the synagogue died. Is that Jairus? And they came and reported, why are you troubling Jesus? Your daughter is dead. And Jesus said, hey, do not fear, only believe. Let's keep going. And when he reached the house, people were crying. He told them, this man's daughter is sleeping. They all boo him. They all laugh at Jesus. They all laugh at him and say, you are nuts. We understand what death is and you don't. You are joking. This girl is dead. He put all of them outside. He threw them all out. They were already singing death songs. He threw them all out of the house. And he went there with the mother and father. And Peter, James, and John, they went there. And they touched the girl and said, Talitha kumai. Daughter, I said to you, arise. Her spirit came back and jumped inside her body and poof, she woke up and said, give her something to eat. Now let's see who will be laughing at who. When they saw the daughter, their mouth stopped. They couldn't mock anymore. Many of us have emotional problems, and that leads to a lot of depression. We are too attached to things. We don't take life easy. I have learned a hard way. Those who take life too hard, too legalistic, too attached, they take things too serious. They're gonna be diabetic, they're gonna have high blood pressure, they're gonna have cancer. And yet you see people, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're in the club, drinking hardcore alcohol, having sex, smoking cigarette, and they have no problem. Until blessed are those who smoke big cigars, for theirs is the big problem. It comes. When that cycle comes around, the big problem comes as a result of that. But it seems like they're always happy. What do I mean by that? God wants us to be more than that. He wants us to be happy. See, those who do not practice a life of happiness do not take things easy. If your husband doesn't like you no more, are you serious that you're going to be dwelling on your husband not liking you no more and going to tell Jesus about it? Seriously? Because before you get married, you should tell God, look, you know that people do change as they grow in age and in education and in money. You know people do change. People do go back to their families and bloodline. Jesus, you know this. Check this witch out. Check this witch out and see who really he or she is. Check him or her out in the future. Please. Before this juju killed me in the name of marriage. And he will honor you by checking it out for you. So that, because he's seen in the future that maybe after having 2 or 3 children, you're going to have a little bit of belly or a little bit of behind. Your face will no longer be all round, to be a little bit bigger. Little bit of pouch on your chin, things like that will happen. Especially if you are not somebody who is too much interested in cosmetics and looking good and all of that. You don't really want to spend money on all those stuff. It's going to happen. If you don't have some more, if you don't add a little bit, you don't become pleasant plump, and you are still thin, something else will begin to happen. You have gray hair, and you will be faced with dyeing your hair. Or something else, you begin to wrinkle. Things will happen. And he won't look at you the same way. He is not somebody that is naturally good. So this is not about he's a Christian. When you're a Christian, you overlook this. No, that's not true. Religious people, Christian people are the most difficult to deal with. Because they will be pretending like it's all well, and behind your back, they are doing rat business. He doesn't see you that beautiful anymore. And if you ask God before you went into that, you won't have no problem. Father, give me a job that is permanent, not temporary, where I really fit in, where I will be faced with doing my job and making a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month. And that's all. Let it be where I will be promoted, where I'm not going to go and fight with anybody. I don't have the strength to go and be doing this. I don't have the strength to go about looking for a job here and there. And God will hear your prayer. So, angel, you are going to change the way you approach relationship. You are going to change the way you approach your families. Because I can tell you, without you telling me, your families are not the type that can help you. If anything happened to you now, do you have somebody in your family you can go to and say, I need, let's just say $2,000. I need $2,000 from all of you to go and solve a problem. Chicago, do you have that kind of people in your family?
Yeah.
But when they have problem, they come to you, and you are eager to give to them so as to belong. Is that not right?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Amen.
Those men who come to you are willing to talk to you, flowers, chocolate, sex, food, all that. After a month, they go back. So it's always, they go back to who they used to be. They are done. They are done. They don't need you no more. That adrenaline rush, let me tell you, Chicago, men, if you do not know it, I will tell it the way it is. You see this girl I'm talking to? You men have never seen a woman who knows how to keep a house, who knows how to give a man what a man wants in bed. She is number one. You men do not know. A woman who knows how to cook super and clean super, that's who she is. But I'm changing her from that mentality to a mentality of a leader. That's what I'm changing in her.
Amen.
So that people will stop using her and making her to be depressed for no reason, because she has the heart. She has the heart of a lover. And those of you who have the heart of a lover, those are the ones who are going to be used and dumped. Enough is enough.
Amen.
And then people know that you want to be loved, because when you were growing up, depression comes as a result of when you were growing up, you didn't have love. Your parent never showed you real love. Or sometimes you were passed from an uncle to an auntie, from this to that, or you grew up by yourself. While you were living with all these people, even your parents, you were actually raising yourself. Nobody was raising you. Chicago, am I right in what I'm saying?
Amen. That's so true about
Yes,
me.
sir.
Good. You could be living with your father.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
My mom passed away when I was a kid.
There you go.
Raised by my grandparents.
Are you guys seeing it? Depression. I'm talking about the roots of depression. That's what we are looking at tonight. If your mom wasn't there and your dad was something else, was out there running the street instead of taking good care of you. Or it is where a mom took the kids and fled, doesn't want the dad to have anything to do with it, thinking that that will fetch you opportunity for the government to help her through the kids. No, there are women like that and there are men like that. They want to be in charge of the kids alone. And they formulate wild stories against the woman or wild stories against the man and so on and so forth. You are destroying your own kids. Because those kids, you're thinking you are raising them, you do not know that you are destroying them. And that begins the root, because somewhere in life, somebody will begin to think, who is my mother? Or who is my father? What happened? And those questions lead to depression. Where a mother died, the father didn't care, others raise you, pass you to this, pass along. We call it pass along. At the end of the day, you become depressed.
Amen.
You become depressed. I had a daughter that almost, it's only that I do not want to raise people's kids, especially people with those kind of problems. I don't want to, because I don't want to get into trouble with people. If the mother was stable, I would have still been raising that girl. She was just 8 years old when they abandoned her to me. She was already on antidepressant. That girl did not even know how to hold a knife and how to hold a fork and eat. I have to teach her. Latino girl. I'm not afraid to mention the race. If she was African American, I would say it. If she was African, I would say it. If she was Caucasian, I would say it. And the mother was busy running the street. I opened a bank account for that little girl. For the first time, she could take $200 and walk to the bank and give it to the teller to put in her account from me. I was treating her as though she was my daughter. When I was moving away from the state where I used to be, the mom said, "Can you take?" I said, No. Legal paperwork must be done. I don't want no problem. And the girl was crying and so on. I said, "Don't worry, when you guys need me, your mother will do the right thing and send you to me. And I can raise you. And when you grow up, you need me to raise you, you know where I am. You can easily find me. I'm everywhere. There's nobody who do not know. If you really seriously want to know who I am, you will know." All you need to do is call the Presbyterian Church in Nigeria or the Pieces Presbyterian Church in Canada, or you call the John Knox Presbytery in Wisconsin, and they will tell you who Idika Mary is. Not somebody who you find in the internet. The internet is simply where I put my stuff there for people to make good use of. I'm not trying to do an internet ministry. I only see that opportunity to make known what I have to make known to the world. So some people call me, they think I'm an internet pastor. One woman called me the other day and I said, "Yes, madam, have I talked to you before?" She said, "No." "Where are you calling from?" "New York." "Okay. What can I do for you?" And she beat about the bush and said this, said that. I said, "Madam, what can I do for you?" She said, "You know that you have to be you have to test the spirit." That's the way she began. You know, you need to test the spirit to know whether they have God. I said to her, "Madam, let me tell you this. Why didn't you go to God to ask God first what kind of spirit I am before you call me?" Because that's what normal people should do. You go first and pray and fast and go, "Who is this man?" Before you come to me and you are calling me to come and tell me to test the spirit. Come and get out of my phone line. I hang my phone. And she later called and left me a message that she was only trying to talk. What are you trying to talk? When you go to your doctor, the first time they've assigned you a primary physician or a family physician, do you go to him to ask him, what church do you go to? What religion are you? Are you a Satanist? a Luciferian? Are you a Holy Ghost Christian? Are you a Presbyterian or Baptist? You don't do that. If you were sent to a psychiatrist or a counselor, do you go and question them about their credentials? Are you serious? And you are coming to come and tell me test the spirit. You better go and test first. And then you know who you are. There are so many pastors out there. Go and test their spirits. Ask God who God wants you to follow. And then you follow that person. I have 2 pastors that I follow. 2 of them are in heaven. And then I began to talk to 2 of them and say, now that 2 of you are in heaven, who do I follow on earth? Who is genuine, real, not greedy, not looking for fame, not looking for money, not looking for power, not looking for the gift of the Spirit to heal the sick, to work miracles, just to become famous or to be known or to make money? Who is it in my time that I can look at and say, this man, you can be a spiritual father to me? I talked to Kenneth Hagin in heaven and to T.L. Osborne in heaven. I talked to both of them. I told them, who? Tell me. I'm entitled to know. And suddenly, both of them told me, that's the man who is alive. He is like us. He's like both of us. The rest of them do not. Leave them alone. And he's not from Europe. Let me give you a hint. He's not from Europe. He's not from the United States of America. He's not from Canada. He's not from the Middle East. He's not from Africa. He's not from the Caribbean or South Pacific. He's from Asia. The person they told me to attach myself to is from Asia. See, you can't fool God. And while I was back in Africa, somebody gave me his book to read. 2 of his books. And I read them and I just left them there because I was not fully convinced. And I was wondering why when those people, when the saints in heaven told me, that's the man you should follow. Do not worry about his weakness. Do not worry about his strength. Follow. I said, ha. And they reminded me, you read 2 of his books when you were young. When you were youth, back in Africa, you read 2 of his books. I said, yes, I did. How did those 2 people in heaven know that I read his book? God will never connect you with any human being that you are not going to be like that person. And then it suddenly dawned on me. So in this part of the world, I am going to build the largest church in the world. It just dawned on me. Immediately I was connected. I knew. Immediately I knew. Everything that I have been saying, that this is what I'm going to do, that's what that man has done. I sat back. I said, wow. Mary, you need to hear this. Berlin, you need to hear this. Lizzie, you need to be aware of this. The very same things that are my weakness is that man's weakness. The very things I love is what that man loves. Yes. And somebody is calling me to come and ask me, she's testing the spirit, and you are coming to test the spirit on me over the phone. Are you serious? You're coming to test the spirit on me. You better go and test your own spirit before you come to test my own.
Like she's all that particular, right?
Tell me about it. Depression starts from how you were born, where you were born. Are you willing to break away from where you were born, how you were born, and things and events that have been manipulated into your life up till the time that you begin to think and say, these things are not working right? These things are not working right. When once you begin to think and know that these things are not working right, that's the right time for you to ask God, who is the spiritual father or spiritual mother in my life that I will genuinely follow without questioning, so that he can help me get out of this. Because there are some depression, they will put you on medication the rest of your life. It's not 1, 2, 3. Many people have come to me and I just pray one prayer and gave them instruction. Depression left. They went back to the doctor. They removed them from medication. I would have been so depressed until God shouted at me. People of God, I'm telling you the truth. God is my witness. God shouted at me. When my father died, I was about to be depressed. When certain people walked out of my life and did me so much harm, I wanted to be depressed. When certain things were done against my mother, when my father died, I was almost, and God shouted at me and said, if you become depressed, don't you know everything will collapse? There will be no generation. Everything will collapse. Many people will die. I said, wow. I said, get out of it right now. And in a second, I got out of it. I said, stop thinking about your father. He's no longer there. It's not important. I have decided to be a father to you, and I'm going to find you a father. That's what God told me. And he did. I told him, I'm willing to get out of it. I won't think about the death of my father anymore. Not in this lifetime. He said, don't. If you ever, I will deal with you. Because I've invested too much in you. You are young. I'm talking about that was 14 or 15 years. And God told me, never think about his death. If not, I'll deal with you. And I want you to begin to think that way. Who is on the line? We are on a conference. Talk to me.
Okay, this is Joseph.
Okay, Joseph, we are on a conference now. Call me later. He's calling from Kenya. Can you believe that? This guy wants me to make him rich. He doesn't even know who he's dealing with. He wants riches. Seriously. Okay. I'll give you riches. You're going to pay a price for it. He's a banker. This guy is working with a big bank in Kenya, but he wants me to make him rich. He understands the situation. It's good. He did not go to the witch doctors. He came to me. He will get what he wants, but he's going to pay price for it. All right, let's continue. All right.
We got bills too. That's right.
So listen to this. Be willing to come out of a situation that has made you sad. Be willing to come out of it. Jesus did not stay in the grave more than 3 days. Jesus was not on the cross for all eternity. He stayed there for only 1 day, and by the evening he was in the grave. The 3rd day he was out of the grave. Please listen to me. Be willing not to make the negative things in your life to become the energy that inform decisions in your life. Please write that down. Be willing not to allow the bad thing that has happened in your life to become the energy that you tap into. Some people, hey, my husband did this to me. Hey, my wife did this to me. Hey, my children did this to me. My uncle did this to me. My auntie did this to me. You keep feeding. That's what we call feeding into negative emotions. Because you think that makes you feel good. You need to talk about it. There is a place of burial. If you are not willing to bury your past will bury you. Please write that down for me. This is big. If you are not willing to bury your past will bury you. And that burial begins with depression. So that you reach that place where you cannot handle a job anymore. Your behavior problem become bizarre. Any job you go to, you can't stay there. They will kick you out because of behavior problem. Because you're depressed. You can't stay in a marriage. If you are not willing to bury your past will bury you. Geneva, write that down for me. That's too good to be passed by. Your past will bury you, and the burial ceremony begins with depression. You become tired, very tired. You don't feel like doing anything worth doing for yourself. No product, no services. You lose interest. In fact, you just lost interest in life. You become afraid, doubt everything, afraid of everything. A cat that passes through your house meowing, asking, is there milk for me? Any fish, please? Any good person living in this place? That cat becomes a witch. And the cat immediately will go out and say to the cat, come on in. We have milk here. And now put milk in a plate, bring some canned fish, open it, keep it, and it eat to its satisfaction and say, that's the door. You go. And it goes. Because it's a cat. It will come out, pet it, and talk to it and say, what's happening? Who owns you? Why are you a stray cat? What happened? Are you also depressed? Are you a depressed cat? What's wrong with you? Where are your babies? Where's your family? And he told meow, meow, meow. I said, I don't speak cat. Then it goes. Same thing with dogs. They all talk to me. I sat down there on the bridge and the fish came out of the water and was looking at me and was like, we know you. And it went back in and came out again and looked at me and went back in and came out again and looked at me and went back in. And I waved at it. They know I'm not going to kill them. I like them. There is a place where you do not allow people to pass you around. And whatever people did against you, people violated you, people abused you, there's a place to say, okay, those things happened, but I have a bigger role to play in life. And I'm not going to allow these things to play their role in me. Do not allow the spirit of wickedness to play their role in you. You decide to break free and play your role in life. Please write that down. Angel, finish your story so that we go to somebody really quick. In what way do you see these things affecting you that you cannot concentrate? Or you see
think about how I got played.
or
You
you
know, how I was used and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just that. It don't, the thing with my grandmother now is more along the line, she don't believe that I changed my life. And when I tell her different things about you, about us discussing the prayer and all of that, she don't believe it. And she's so negative that every time I try to tell her stuff and try to redirect her, it's the same.
Okay. Could anybody?
All of that to me comes under the umbrella of depression. It's all keyed in, tied in, the talk and everything.
Yeah. So there is a place where you've talked enough, and there's a place where you need to move away. If your mom doesn't want to help you, she doesn't believe you, all of that, you know she can't help you.
Period.
She cannot. Because I can point at different negative things playing out in your life that you don't tell me. That is as a result of the depression. You might think it's the devil. Yes, depression is of the devil. But I can assure you a lot of negative energies that comes from, for example, you're dealing with what you're dealing with and you are going to go and talk to your mother and you know already she's not the type that is capable of helping you. It's not everything that I go to talk to my mother because I'm the one who is helping my mother. My mother can't help me. I mean, there are things that my mother can help me. Then I follow her only in the majors. And I will sit down and just listen. When she finishes, I say, yes, mom. I'll do exactly what you said because I know that's her area of strength. But there are things that I will not sit down to discuss with my mother because I know my mother doesn't have power in those areas to instruct me correctly. So why do I need to go and talk to my mom about those things? Leona, go on. It's your turn. Go on, Lion.
A long time ago, I've gone through a lot of stuff and you should rehearse it over and over in my mind. Finally, I went through the seasons where I've been married many, many years and I was divorced. And I won't go into that because that's not what's important. And I really started searching for God, and that was the beginning. But even in the midst of the search, sometimes we can not get rid of the people that we are meant to, or maybe we're teeter-tottering back and forth. And I needed someone who could stand in my life. And besides, I really didn't have anyone to talk to very serious. But once I realized with the prayer, not only of Edith, but other Christian people, it was like I didn't know what was wrong. And I couldn't get out of the hole I was in so much. But then Edith had told me whenever I talked to him, he said, the light is brighter. What happened was God has to break through our soul, our heart, and our mind. Every bit of it. I had to do a lot of major changes. And one thing, it's not easy. I can tell somebody it's not easy. Especially if we're used to eating bad food over and over, and that's bad thoughts. That's what I'm referring to. I had to learn how to keep my mind focused off those things. And I said, God, you have a book for me. Finally hit me. You have a clean book, and you're going to write the best that you can. That's the book I want. I don't care about anything else. It's you, me, it's other people. That's what really matters. Took a lot of dedication, a lot of prayer, a lot of looking at life and saying, you know what? I'm going to celebrate a person leaving. I'm going to celebrate my life because I have you. I mean, the Lord's presence can be so strong that we know He's walking with us. And that is what, I'm going to say this, when we know we've touched heaven is when everything starts working. Everything, it's like a clock. You have to be obedient, and you have to, sometimes I don't recognize things. I tell the Lord, please help me. Please don't bring me to the test. I can't stand without heaven, without the angels, without my pastor, without people, and the Christian friends you've been put in my life. Please. Once I see something's evil, I'll pray about it. I don't let it stay in the house. I won't be, whatever's going on. There are times I do struggle because I don't recognize, wait a minute, this isn't of the Lord. But what I was going to say is life can be good. Doesn't mean we won't cry. Doesn't mean we won't have things happen that even test our faith, and that's when we have to stand. But I have taken some medicine for 5 years now. I don't take as much as I used to. Don't have tells you. If you're questioning it, go back to the Bible, all the arguments that were happening among Christians and Jews whenever it first began, and you'll see that the Bible, the bishop, the apostles, whoever was left, they held a council and they said, this is what's important. Stick to it. It's not questioning things. We just need to know he won. We have that authority and we must enforce it. And that's it. And that he has a purpose for each one of us. And he said it is good.
There you go. Do you hear two things that she said that are very important? Number one, if you want to get out of depression, you're going to begin to celebrate yourself. You are going to begin to celebrate yourself. You are going to begin to find things, an event that makes you happy. Because it is your life. You are accountable to your life. Nobody else is. You're going to find what makes you happy long term and stick to it. You're going to begin to celebrate yourself. I'll give you an example. There's nothing I enjoy like when I have a good haircut and I come back home and make my hair look beautiful. Make sure that I look young because I have to live long. Because that's our motto. The motto of our ministry is that. Look young, live long. Young forever, live forever. That's our motto. That's also come from the spirit realm. Your meditation, your listening to the word, your prayers, your fasting. Young forever, live forever. The same thing. Your investment, the miracles, the signs, the wonders, the health makes you to live, to look young and live long. Young forever, live forever. The marriage you are into should make you look young. And not when you enter into a marriage, you become a biggie bag. You become something completely different from what you were supposed to be. Marriages are supposed to make you to live, to look young. Young forever, live forever. Live long, look young. Happiness. It's true that every day is not, you will not be like you'll be celebrating every day, but most of the time you should. Life is duty. Life is a call to duty. Relationship is a call to responsibility. Please write that down. Geneva, write that down. Life is a call to duty. Relationship is a call to responsibility. Celebrate yourself. Come out of waiting for others to celebrate you. Look at the Oklahoma woman that just finished speaking. Have you guys seen her? Did you see her in Las Vegas when she came there? How she looked? Did you see her at Baltimore? How she looked when she came? Her hair, her skin, the way she carried herself. Young forever, live forever. Who will not want to love her and accept her and talk to her and offer her opportunity? Instead of staying one place, you can't smile, you can't laugh, you can't celebrate life, you are not happy. And I've learned something. Even those who are praying for God to give them heaven and earth, when God gives them heaven and earth, they will still not be happy. God will give them a Rolls Royce and they will ask God for a Cayenne. God give them a Cayenne and they will want a Ferrari. God give them a Ferrari, they will want. Tell me, they'll never be happy. Because if you don't start to be happy now, when are you going to be happy? You think that until you have all that money, until you get married, have children, you are going into a different dimension or cycle of life. And if you cannot begin now to celebrate yourself, you're in big trouble. That's what the lioness was saying. That's what she was saying. Her name is Leona, lioness. And I told her, you need to pick yourself up. I'm not going to stand here for any man to use you as a football, kick you around. No way. But in a few months, she paid up all the debt that they piled up for her. She paid it all off. God gave her a car, an SUV. She's almost finishing repairing a huge house that she lives in. Walk into that woman's house, it looked like a castle. Go and see. That's the same woman who a year ago was completely different. I told her, come out of it. You are better than this. I will call her and say, do you need me to send you money? She say, no. I have enough. I have a lot. Instead, she will send to me. She will ask, what do you want? The life completely changed. Along the way, she won't need that medicine anymore. Many a time, she doesn't even take it. Number two thing that she spoke about, which I got out of her spirit. She didn't say it, but I took it out of her. While she was talking, I got it out. How do you deal with your loneliness? She didn't say it, but I took it out of her. Because when you are talking, I'm hearing what you are not saying. You say, give, God gave me. Nobody can take it away from me. Her spirit was telling me, talk about loneliness while she was talking. Lioness, is that not true?
It's true.
There you go. Loneliness is when you start feeling nobody loves you, when you start feeling that you need people, when you start feeling people have abandoned you, there's nobody who cares about you. Life is hopeless. Life is helpless.
Amen.
You start thinking of this, you start thinking of that. You've done the best for your kids, they abandon you. You did the best for a man, he abandoned you. You did the best for God, the pastor didn't love you. They didn't care about you. You were in trouble. The church member abandoned you. And you start going down to the pit of hell. Hell is depression. Another name for depression is hell. Write that down. Depression is hell coming to visit you. Now you got it. You now know what depression is. Depression is hell coming to pay you a visit. And not just that it came to pay you a visit, he found out that you really welcome him. And you gave him a chair to sit. Please write that down. Depression is hell coming to visit you. And you knowingly or unknowingly gave hell a chair to sit. There you go. Please write that down. You've never heard this description before. Go and find whether you find a book where it is. That's why when my book begins to come out, all of you must buy it and read. But most of the things you are going to read, I've already told you a lot of them. I'm only going to expand on them. Depression is hell coming to visit you. And you, openly, knowingly or unknowingly, did not know. And you gave hell a chair to sit down in your life. And it sat down and began to fill the entire place. You have to look at it. Yeah, you have to take that chair from him and break the chair. You have to break the chair. Wherever hell has sat, you need to break. Nobody else come to sit there and cause you hell. The reason why the next husband that came was worse than the one that came was that the chair that the first one came and sat, you didn't break it. Please write that down. Write that down. The reason why many of you are still having bad luck in marriage, in relationship. Yeah. Yeah, so the reason why you are having bad luck in relationship is because the chair that the former person in your life sat, you've not yet broken that chair. You allow the next person to come and sit in the same chair. The next person, when they come, should not see no chair. They should be standing first. There you go. There you go. Now all of you are talking. All of you are talking.
Those chairs are broken tonight, Lord. No more men that come into our life with that long.
To come and sit in the same chair.
We need the white men in our life that will send, not any type of person.
Yes, so I hear you. That's how it should be. You know, the other bank came, gave you credit card. You gave them a chair to sit, and they ruined your life. The next bank is coming, and they say, oh, that chair is there. They full house. Oh, they came and they sat there and gave her the same thing. We are going to, you tell them already my credit is fine. They say, forget about it. We are going to repay your credit. And you give them a chair and they sit down and they ruin it 7 times more. When once something bad happened, break the chair. If not, the next one who is coming will be a worse demon in human form than you've ever seen. Yes, so you need to break it. If you are not willing to break it, I am coming to Connecticut to break the chair for you.
Oh, definitely.
I'll come and break it. Your son and I will be fighting, and I will tell him, leave the chair. I'm going to break it. When I finish breaking it, then I will go.
That's the part of my life that I never do, and I'm gonna do it too.
There you go.
No more nonsense in my life. No.
There you go. Loneliness. Loneliness. We think that we are getting too old. We think we are getting old. We think quick. We need to have a man. Have belly quick. You know, in my place they call pregnancy belly, which means stomach. Instead of saying pregnancy, we don't have any name for pregnancy in the Igbo culture. So we just say belly. We say, in fact, this is the belly is Nigerian broken English. Belly, you don't give person belly, which means that man has made that woman to have stomach. That's the Mary, do you see the way Nigerians speak? You don't give them belly, which means Nigeria, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cameroon, Ghana, they speak, especially Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, they speak the same thing, and then Sierra Leone, Liberia, they speak the same pidgin English. So don't give the woman belly. He has given the woman stomach. He has made the stomach to be big. That's the meaning of pregnancy. But in our culture, in Mary and my culture, is called Iyime. Mary, am I right?
Yeah.
Itinyime. So it doesn't even talk about pregnancy or a baby being there. It simply says Itinyime or Iyime, which means he has put something in the inside. That's all. It doesn't have anything to do with stomach. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. So it's a coded word. Pregnancy is a coded word in my language. Means he has put it in the inside. What did he put in the inside? I don't know. So it is put like that so that when a baby comes, it's come. If they think it does, so it's eating him. He has put something in the inside. Was it in the inside of the house? So it tells you that what happened in secret, and they think that is happening in secret. But then in the broken English, it is put them belly. You don't put the woman belly. He has made the woman to have stomach, to have belly. That's funny. And a lot of women and a lot of men are quickly, they want to have children. They are not prepared for no baby. They are not prepared for no woman in their life. They are not prepared for no husband. No preparation has been done. But they just want to hurry and have children. Like thunder and lightning, tsunami, blah, 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 blah. Children begin to come that they are not prepared for. And that's another form. When those children, when you begin to face duty and responsibility that you are not prepared for, depression comes. Because you think that you should just get it out of the way. Then later we can handle the problem. No matter what problem it is, money, we can handle it later. And you realize that you cannot. Sometimes it takes your head. And sometimes you don't recover from it. Sometimes you don't even recover your youthfulness from it. Why? Because you're rushing to get out of loneliness. You are rushing to get out of problem. Out of growing old too quick.
We are not desperate for men, please. No more.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. So please deal. Number one, learn to celebrate yourself. Learn to celebrate yourself. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, learn to celebrate yourself. Number two, learn to contain. Learn not to allow loneliness to be speaking to you and to fool you and tell you are lonely. You're gonna die a lonely person, a lonely, cranky old woman. You'll become a cranky old witch, cranky old wizard. You need to die surrounded by people. You need to do this. You need to do that. Another form of depression is when we rush into things that we shouldn't rush into. We don't spend time to think things, to walk things through. And then it develops into panic attack, anxiety, and all of that. And then at the end of it, it becomes depression. We become depressed, oppressed, possessed.
And medication.
And medication. And when that depression opens the door to demons, when it opens the door, when problems in your life, that is why one of the greatest things you are going to learn tonight is you're going to learn how not to open your mind just to anybody. You're going to learn how not to open your mind just to anybody. You need to protect your mind. I've been saying it all along. Protect your mind. Are you protecting your mind? Are you protecting your mind? Are you protecting your mind? Because if you do not protect your mind, you are going to open your mind to all sorts of problems. And when, let me tell you, your mind can just take so much until it blew apart. Your mind can take just so much until it blows. And many of us, especially we men and women, we believe that with God all things are possible, we can handle. It's not everything that you are asked to handle. Look at John the Baptist was put in prison. They came to Jesus and said, are you not his cousin? Is he not preaching about you and preparing your way? Why not go and get him out of prison? Jesus left and went to somewhere else and said, let everybody bear his own problem. John was in prison and they cut John's head off. Jesus did not go to prison. Jesus is God. He didn't go to prison to go and get John out. Just a warning for all of us. Wherever people didn't like Jesus, Jesus moved away to somewhere where they like him. So why are you staying where they don't like you? And opening your mind to be oppressed and depressed and possessed until you become a lunatic. And then you find somebody to blame. But you are given the opportunity to walk away when you should walk away, or to shut up and stay and enjoy that relationship or enjoy that job. There are other houses, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, for cheap you can get, and you want to be like others. You want to go to gated community where there is everything, and the pay is 2,000 a month. You don't even make up to 1,500 a month. You go and pack in, and problem begin. You can't do your car payment. You can't pay for your mortgage. You can't take care of your children. Food is not there in the fridge. You've not bought 1 new bra for yourself, or 1 new singlet, 1 new wife beater for yourself. And then you are praying for God to help you. You do not know that God works with smart people and not with people who want to walk into the land of lunatics. Depression is people who see problem and think that they should walk into where even demons do not want to go. Where demons are afraid to go into, we want to walk into those places. Others want to go to places to go and find solution where you should not go to find solution. You know that that man is married to his mother and father, or that man is married to his siblings, and you are going there because he say he loves you and you say you love him. You are moving into it. The children of that man do not like you. You still want to go in there. Why will you not be depressed? You see that woman's children don't like you. They don't respect you. You see that the auntie and the uncles of that girl, they don't want you. They think that you are coming to come and reap from where you did not sow. And you still want to push it. You say, mark my word, I'm going to fast and pray. I'm going to find all the prophet in this world, and I'm going to send them $50. They will pray for me, and they will dethrone all of you witches. Seriously? You are going to fight a battle that you were not invited into. And then you think you can handle it. I will show you that God has given me authority. I have authority from Jesus to walk upon scorpions and upon serpents. Really? And when problems begin to occur in that marriage, you see that woman leave you and go to those people that she was telling you they didn't like her. Those are the people who inform her what to do. And then you begin to ask God, why are you not answering my prayers? I will abandon you. You must answer me. Did God ask you to go into that place? You are the one who is going to try to play God. Walk away while it is yet day and not night. Walk away now. You don't want to walk away. See, arrogancy, vanity, our mouth, greed, the desire to control others will lead to depression. Big time. Things happen that you should walk away and continue your life. You want to stay there and fight. Fight. And see the result of it. Some of the things we do, we open our life to demons. And they come in and take possession. And we think that that is depression. And we do not know that we are fully possessed. And you think that demons respond to medication? Fallen angels and demons do not respond to medications. They don't respond to medication. They do not also respond to prayers. They do not respond to prayers. They only respond to one thing: power, the blood. Think about that. Marlon, don't tell me you're on this program tonight.
You got me laughing. I'm sorry.
I know. I know. There are things that God is begging each of you to let go. Some addiction, some alcoholism, some sexual addiction. You think you can use your butt to get a marriage or to win a job or to do this or to do that. Or sometimes God is pleading with you to stop shouting at your children. Leave your children alone. Let them grow up. Let them be on their own. You still want to stay with them. You still want to do everything with them. All your money goes to either your children or your family members or your siblings. And God has told you a long time ago, he said, that cycle is over. That cycle is over. You don't want to listen. You're still praying. There are things that you should ignore, and you're unwilling to ignore those things. Tomorrow I will want to come and repeat this, because many of you are just listening, and then after that, you forget about it. You don't want to sit down and listen and learn and take note and put it into practice. There are things that you should ignore. At your job, your boss is talking to you. Say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. How do you want me to do this differently so that we have a success here? Instead, I don't like you talking to me that way. How dare you? Do you know how many years of experience I put at my other job before I came here? Really? If your other job was the best, why are you here? You start quarreling with your boss everywhere. She'll be, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Why? Because that's your meal ticket. I'm telling many of you what God is saying I should tell you. Next day, they let you go, or you get fired, or you quit coming.
Better get that oil you got.
I told a woman, there was a woman in California that called me that she has put in so and so number of years. I told her, how many more years remain for you to qualify for full pension, retirement, all the packages? She said 4 years. I said, please, I'm begging you in the name of God, stay and finish that 4 years. You've already put in so and so amount of years. Please stay and finish that for you. She said no, that she is gonna go because she was angry with her supervisor. I told her, I said, let me tell you, because you're gonna wanna come back to me to pray for you. And when I say no, don't think that I am evil, because I will not pray for you. I said, if you decide to disobey me and you quit your job, you're gonna be in the court fighting with that company for years, and you will still not succeed. She thought I was joking. She quit her job. She was very happy that she doesn't have to go to work anymore. After a year, it kicked in. The litigation began with the job. That started a long time back. Up till today, as I'm talking to you, she is depending on the government for money to exist. That was somebody that was making about either $60 an hour, more than 40 hours a week. That was her. Why? She refused to listen to me because she thought that I was a nobody prophet. Maybe if somebody else who was bigger, has money and jets, told her this, maybe she could have listened. But Idika Mary is not well known. So why should I listen to you? And especially you have an accent. You come from Africa. So why should I listen to you? How dare you? I said, all right, go ahead. And today they are still in court fighting. And there is no attorney anymore that want to take up her case. And then she becomes depressed, becomes sick, all kind of stuff. And then she called me. I said, I warn you. People are not listening. They want to do their own thing. That's why they are getting depressed. And that's why God is washing his hand off them. Who again want us? Who again want to share something with us? What kind of depression are you dealing with? What brought it about? So that I can help you right now. Let's deal with it. How do you manage money? You heard what I said about the lioness, how she manages money. She's happy in life. Her skin has turned back to the skin of a young person. Why? She listened to instruction from me. Because it's from the Holy Ghost, who again has something to share. Now, let me share something that you need to know, because this is also the reason why many of us go into depression. Before you get married to anybody, sit down with that person and discuss the issue of finances, the issue of sexual activities. Now, let me share something you need to know. If a woman has a very high sexual energy, libido, and you, the man, has very low, you're going to have problem. Either you get killed in that bedroom, or you will flee and start sleeping in the basement or in the living room, or vice versa. If the man is high and you are low, because you see, church doesn't want to go into those things because they think respect for those people, we shouldn't go there. And that's the very same thing that brings people to places of depression, and people begin to look elsewhere. The person's health condition. Have you looked at the person's health record to see? So that tomorrow you don't marry somebody whom next tomorrow is going to become impotent, cannot have any erection.
I have a question.
Because of their medication, excuse me, because of their medication and so on. You need to know these things. You need to know whether this person's money that this person is making is enough to run a family. And when you add yours to his own, are you willing that both of you should collaborate? What we call collabo means collaboration. Are both of you willing to collaborate? Are both of you, can both of you meet sexually in the bedroom? Is it mutual all the time or most of the time? Who should be doing the cooking? Should both of you? Who should be doing dishes? Should it be both of you? Who should do laundry? Who should mow the lawn? All this should be discussed. If one of you do not want to work, you do not want to have a job, you want to be the stay-home husband or the stay-home wife, it should be discussed. Not until both of you get married before you begin to talk about that you're having back pain, you're going to resign from your job. Just after 1 year of getting into marriage and you leaving all that job to your wife to do. Are you serious? I am dragging that daughter of Zion out of your life because you are not worthy. You are looking for free food. You are looking for a free meal. And you want somebody to marry to carry your load. And you sit back and drink beer, eat pig skin, and watch TV. Seriously? I will walk into that home and give you a serious knock in the center of your head so that you can feel it. And many of us are like that. We don't want to talk about the problem. We don't want to talk about that we got fired in our last job. And because of the thing we did in our last job, that's why we can never get a job. And we are looking for agencies to have a job. We don't want to talk about anything. And we cover it with prayer meetings and speaking in tongues and prophecy and church and choir until we get into the marriage and the real things begin to surface. And then somebody gonna get depressed. Somebody gonna get blamed. Somebody get overworked. There are people who have been overworked by their spouse or by their families until they get depressed. Or that is the kind of job that you want to go into. Is it something that you really love? Some go into a job that they work them like a donkey until they get depressed. They become banana in the job. Seriously. They work them like bulls. Like slaves of the farm. These are all ways people get depressed. Make sure that if a man or a woman is not willing to discuss all this and to open up in all these areas. Dump them. Just ditch them big time. Because it's your life. Because tomorrow they will come to tell you you are the one who manipulated them into marriage. They didn't really want to marry you. The person smoke. Do you like people who smoke? Or the person drink a lot? Is that what you want? Or the person, whenever there is money, you bring $1,000, you say, this $1,000 should be put away in our saving. 2 weeks time, you say, let me look at the book. That $1,000 is gone. What did she do with it? You have no idea. Say, darling, don't just worry. I do not know why. A little chicken change like $1,000 is causing problem in the family. Chicken change. Really? You go out there and bust your butt to get the chicken change. Then I will know. And then they tell you, but you know, darling, that I love you. And they try to kiss you. Oh my God, if I don't slap your mouth. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Everything should be talked about. Anything that you do not, anything you are not informed about, you should not be involved. Do not be involved about anything that you were not told about. Please write that down. Do not be involved about anything that you were not told about. Tell you chicken change of $5,000 is what you are really quarreling. Really? $5,000? Do you know how much stock I can buy with $5,000? Do you know how much product that I can have to be made for me tomorrow morning with $5,000? Do you know how many CDs and DVDs I can release with $5,000? And you're telling me it's chicken change. Well, I just went shopping. I just did my hair. And you see some of those men or those women talking to their family members. If it is a man, just look at that woman. Just look at that foolish woman. She gave me $10,000 to put in the account. I just used about $5,000 to do my hair and went shopping to get some new shoes and they went for them to repair my ride and so on. You know how it goes. Got a few things here and there, and that's what she's making noise. Look at that woman. As though it was your money. She worked so hard for it. These are things that are making that woman to be depressed. You're driving her to hell. You are saying it's common. People who don't attach value to anything will make other people to become depressed. Or they themselves will become depressed. Jay, continue. South Carolina, it's your turn. South Carolina, is your turn.
Oh, I have a question. In the early terms of my relationship, everything was going well and happy. People would constantly tell us how beautiful we were together. We did a lot together. When it was time for self-time, we did that too. But everything, when I say everything, it was beautiful. But his mother, she was the one that did not like me. And
did you not notice that? Did you not notice that the mother did not like you when you were dating the man or courting the man? Did you not notice that?
No, it was not.
You were not close to the mother. Were you close to the mother before the relationship blossom into a marriage?
No.
Because, you see, if you want to marry somebody's son, let me share something you need to know. If you are going to marry somebody's son, before you tie the knot, make sure you know the mother and the siblings. Make sure.
I thought I knew her, but I didn't know that side of her, of jealousy, of me having a business mind.
Okay, how do you deal with that? How do you deal How do you deal with family members, your side, his side, before marriage? How do you deal with it? If there is too much, if their family are far away from you, you guys do not really meet, really, or talk really, how do you know who they are? What is the principle for knowing who they are, even though they are far away from you? How do you know who they are? Somebody help us here. How do you expose what is hidden inside the water?
Well, the first sign was how they lived. You know, I didn't have a lot. I didn't come from a rich family. We were poor, but the way he was raised was around a lot of farm and chickens and the goats and the pigs and, you know, my grandmother, she didn't have that. I mean, we weren't rich, but, you know, I suffered a lot, but we did not have that kind of, it was different with him. The
Okay.
house was, you know, and I looked at it, but then I did not consider it like, okay, this is the way he is, but that was the way she was, and because of who I was, she felt that I was taking her son away from her, her baby boy. That's what she calls him.
Every baby boy, you see what I mean by baby boy, and every baby girl, those who are the breadwinners, those who are the love of the life of the mother or father, should be left alone. Let them go and marry their parents, please. Let them go and marry their siblings, or those
No,
that
he didn't want that.
are those that their father and mother and siblings and sisters and brothers have appointed for them to marry. Now listen carefully. Who knows the answers to how to expose this? Who knows how to know? How do you know when a mother-in-law or a family you are entering a relationship into with their son or daughter? How do you know how to know them without them showing who they are? How do you know them?
Ask the Holy Spirit to expose what it's like.
Okay, what is the gift? What is the gift of the Holy Spirit you should be asking for? There are two gifts you should be asking for. What are the two gifts?
Yeah, discernment.
Discernment of spirit, and which other one? And what? Wisdom. The ability to make right choices and right judgment in everything and in every place. And the other one is discernment of spirit. When once you ask for discernment of spirit, that's the number one. Discernment of spirit will zoom you, what we call zooming in. You will zoom into the family to know what is there. And then number three, what do you ask for? You ask for God to expose every lies and deceit and manipulation that is behind the closed door. God should expose it. When once you said that, it will be exposed. And you will not go into it. If you are not somebody who is going there because you desperately want marriage or you want a better life, but if you are somebody who is going in there because you want a relationship that will last for a very long time, if that's what you're looking for, when you pray the prayer of God to expose what is hidden, In that relationship, it will all come to the open. If you are not carried away by your emotion and by your desires, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. 3 things. Number 1, ask for the spirit of discernment. Number 2, ask for the gift of wisdom. Number 3, I'm now giving you more. In fact, ask for God to endow you with the gift and spirit of sensitivity. Number 4, ask for the Holy Ghost to lead you, that you will be willing to be guided in the decision making. You are not saying yes or no. You're asking the Holy Ghost to have the final say. And number 5. And number 5. And number 5, ask for God to expose whatever evil is waiting around the corner in that relationship. Let God expose it. There are 5 things.
She was exposed. She definitely was.
But it was after you've married the son.
Yeah.
Okay.
She came over here.
Well, that's too late. That is too late. That's enough to make you depressed. Because when you go in, when this thing has not been taken care of, you're walking into, what do we call it? Those things that they're planted on the ground, when you go in, it blast and blow your legs off. What do we call it? Can't remember what it is. You are walking into a dynamite that has been planted against you, and you don't know it. Huh? A landmine. You're walking into a landmine. You're walking into a living landmine, and that person will make your life a torture. To make your life a torture. It's not, let me tell you, it's not every pastor that tells you to come, let him ordain you. Many of you do not know that you're walking into a landmine. It's not every business that invite you for you to come and work with them, and you don't know you're walking into a landmine. Just be careful, be careful, be careful. This is where we want to bring this to an end, except there's somebody who want to add something that is very, very important to what we've said tonight. Now, this video will be on for 1 or 2 days, and it will disappear from the internet because it's very, very important to me what we've done tonight. We are not yet done with established by God, because there is a side of that we want to look, and it has to do with the covenant. So we'll deal with it this coming week. Excuse me. Please check the website by tomorrow, Monday. Tonight, I'll be working to put in the programs for this week. I want you to patronize our Money World and Marketplace and buy our product. New products are coming out very, very soon. Okay. And remember, my birthday is coming on June 18. I am looking at those who loves me. If you tell me you're praying for me, you don't send me no money, no gift, I will report you to God, because you are not going to use prayer to run away from responsibility and duty. You are not going to use that. No way. No way. No way.
Oh my God.
So I want to thank you all for coming to this evening. How many people have learned a lot tonight? How many people are going to change? How many people? Good. Good. Berlin says, Berlin, my beloved woman says she is going to break the chair that belonged to her. And I encourage you all to break that chair. Please break it. Please break it. Now let me share something that you need to do. Constant poverty in a family will bring constant depression. Please, let me say it again. Write that down. Constant poverty, constant sickness. Remember what I'm saying to you. Constant cycle of poverty, constant cycle of sickness, physical ill health, constant cycle of hardship and suffering. There are 4 things I'm mentioning here. Constant cycles and seasons of poverty, sickness, suffering, pain. I can keep Constant cycles of disappointment. Please, Berlin, make sure you go through this video and give me a note, or any of you, really quickly. Constant cycles of suffering, constant cycles of disappointment, constant cycles of pain, constant cycles of hopelessness and helplessness, constant cycles of people disappointing you, constant cycles of people you trusted letting you down, constant cycles of suffering, constant cycles of struggles in your family and your life, constant cycles of poverty will lead to major depression in your life. Get out of it as quickly as possible and tell God to replace your life with prosperity, protection, and promotion in every area of it. Constant cycle of the curse will lead to depression. If you are used to living with evil people in an environment that is saturated with demons, it will lead to depression. Seriously. There are some of you that need to move away from where you are right now to somewhere else, that the atmosphere, the cherubims with the glory are there. Please, you need to know this. Constant attack by demons, constant demonic operation in your life will lead to depression. See, I'm learning, I'm just letting this thing go for free so that you can know it. People make promises to you, they disappoint you, it continue over and over and over. It will lead to depression. Living a life without no vision and dreams, ability to see your future and pursue that future only, will lead. If you cannot have no dreams, no vision, and you are just running on empty faith, what I call empty faith, if you are running on empty faith, you are going to have depression because you have nothing to back up your empty faith. A life without no serious exposure to experiences of miracles will lead to depression. Please write that down. A life without no serious experience of miracles will lead to depression in your life. You need to have money in your pocket. A life that is constantly broke will lead to depression. Forget about when they come to church and they are shouting and jumping, praise the Lord, hallelujah, we believe you, God, blah, blah, blah. No way. If you look deep down within a lot of those people, they are mentally mad. Just let them get out of that church and you put certain button in their life and you see the devil erupt in them. And you know how depressed they are. The big insult that will come out of their mouth, you will say, yeah? Sure? Seriously? I thought you just came out of prayer meeting. I thought you just came out of the church. And the person will tell you which church. You don't know me yet. Why? Because they are depressed. And at that time, you make the sign of the cross and say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And the person will tell you, I know exactly what I'm doing. If your neighbor is smoking, barbecuing chicken, you must barbecue chicken. You should enjoy life and not make your life a constant problem on the earth. Why is everybody not going through torture and problem every day like you? That has to stop. I don't want to be pastoring depressed people. God, hear me, oh, please help me. Hey! Because depressed people are dangerous people. If it is not checked and cured, it's dangerous. Because there's nothing you're gonna do to make them happy. Today they are happy, next day they are not. One day they are happy with you, 1 year they are not. Today they are with you in church. The next 2 years they are out of church. Maybe when somebody died in their family, that's the time they look for you to come and bury the person or to pray. Did you hear that God called me to be a burial person? I was called to be in the house of enjoyment with people whom God has blessed, instead of being with people who have problems all the time. I mean, if you have problems sometime, I don't want to go there with you. But if you have problem all the time, I don't want to just really spend all my energy with those kind of people. Today they call you, they are telling you one sad story. Next day is another sad story. Next day is another sad story. When will it end?
Because you are the answer to the problem, Bishop. God has put,
yeah, but they themselves too should begin to be responsible for themselves too. You heard when those two people came to Jesus, and one of them said to Jesus, will you tell my brother to share the property with me? Jesus told him, who made me a lawyer between you and your brother? You both of you go and solve your problem. Get out of here. You were not called to carry the problem of the whole world on your own head. If not, those people's problem will kill you. Other people's problem will destroy you if you are not careful. Because people are looking for where to go and throw their trash into. And if you allow yourself to become a trash can, it's going to crush you. Because you can just take so much. You can just handle so much. There are people who are not willing to solve their problem themselves. And even after you finish solving their problem, they are not willing to do anything about it.
that's the reason Jesus chose you, Bishop. That's why you did.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's why you have to
I'm doing as much as as much as he wants me to do. Those things I can't do. I just tell the person, go somewhere else and look for help. I can only do what I can do for you. I've solved all the problems that I can solve for you. See, let me share something that all of you need to know. God will never take responsibility over issues that you can take responsibility about. If God knows that you can handle something, he will never handle it for you. That's how heaven operates.
He will never give you more than you can bear.
No, that's not the real issue here. The issue is, if you register to take to go into a program, then you're responsible for passing that exam. You're responsible for reading your book, taking the test, and so on. Heaven is not coming. An angel is not coming to sit an exam for you. There you go. Good night, all of you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thursday.
Jasmine of New York, call Archbishop.